All right, so first up this morning.
A young Hollywood actress. She's already written a memoir, a self-help book for teens to overcome negative body image.
Helena Grace Donald penned this book. It's Learning to Love the Girl in the Mirror, a teenage girl's guide to living a happy and healthy life. It helped her realize that the perfect size does not mean happiness.
And we are so happy to welcome Helena to the yellow couch. Good morning to you.
Hi. Good to see you.
What do you think of that, looking in the mirror and saying, I am beautiful?
Why do we have such a problem with it?
It's hard,
women?
isn't it?
It is really hard because we've been programmed so much to think negatively of ourselves, and or that it's arrogant to love and accept who we are.
That's what I was going to say. You feel egotistical telling yourself you're beautiful.
It's almost like we're being told to keep small as women. I mean, literally,
right?
And metaphorically. It's
True.
crazy. And yet when we have the confidence to love and appreciate the skin that we're in, we are able to go out into this world as strong, empowered women. And that's a gift that every teenage girl needs to have within her.
Okay, shocked or not shocked about the statistic that
Not
says
shocked.
80% of girls 6 to 10 wish they were thinner?
I mean, I'm not shocked, but I'm shocked how young it's
Right,
becoming.
sad.
It's so sad. Like, I know how prevalent it is in teen girls, but the fact that a 6-year-old is aware of this is crazy.
How old are you right now?
I'm 24.
You're 24. And where are you from? Where's the accent?
I'm from London, but live in Los Angeles. So I've been here for 3.5 years now. So.
Great accent. Okay, so when did you first become aware of body image? When did you start feeling bad about yourself?
I started as I went into puberty and into my teen years. I became very aware of my body. Your body is going through changes. I felt a lot of pressure to look a certain way. And I felt like I couldn't control it and I was not happy in my body. And that led to a very negative spiral of how I controlled my body and an eating disorder. And it's scary how many girls now are suffering with eating disorders. A lot of them keep it a secret, or even what they don't have an eating disorder, but they're living with this negative thinking and these negative beliefs, and they don't get help for it, and they don't know that there is another way of thinking and feeling that is so freeing and will change your life the right way up. So
a lot of young girls will look at you and say, how could you ever have an issue with not feeling beautiful? You know, they would, and I think sometimes it's a detriment to even someone like yourself or a girl who may be in a popular crowd, or, I mean, I think girls are so hard on themselves.
Oh my gosh,
what do you say to the girl who would look at you and say, are you kidding me? You're gorgeous.
Well, I mean, thank you, but I mean, I'm a very different girl sitting before you than I was before. When I was hating my body and living with that negativity, I was a completely different girl. I'm happy and healthy now, and I feel this vibrancy from loving and accepting who I am. Any girl is susceptible, and I would say that to any parent as well, because it doesn't matter what you look like nowadays. It's every girl, as you say, is dealing with these pressures to be perfect. And it's a mold that we're trying to fit into that is being dictated by other people, by the media, by advertising. And if we're constantly trying to fit into this mold that's dictated to us, we're losing our power as women and what we have to offer this world. And yeah, it's such a scary place, especially with social media now as well for young women. But there is another way of thinking and feeling.
And that's what I want to get to. First of all, do diets work?
I'm not a dietitian or a doctor, but I would say no from my personal experience, because when I was dieting and depriving my body, I was a much bigger size than I am now. Even when I had the bulimia, because I was comfort eating as on top of that. I mean, for me, diets mean deprivation.
Right.
And I think when I learned to love and accept who I am, I was approaching food from a loving way too. So now I see it as this beautiful way to nourish my body, eat healthily. I listen to my body, which is such an amazing feeling to have, to know to be in tune with my body. What do I need today to feed it in the way that it needs?
Well, and you say you were able to lose weight without even trying, which is going to aggravate a lot of people, especially those who've been trying to diet their whole lives or have struggled with their weight their whole lives. What do you see as being the key to losing weight without trying? You mentioned having a positive, loving relationship with food.
Listening to my body and looking at it like, how can I nourish my body today? I don't, you know, people are like, oh, I'm going to cut out carbs, I'm going to cut out this. But I look at it like, what does my body need today for fuel? fuel. I no longer feel the need to overeat because I'm listening to my body, and I'm also not depriving it, which causes it to go into starvation mode, which means that whenever we do then comfort eat, it holds on to everything. I also discovered how to exercise in a way that's loving. I used to be like obsessed with the calories and having to burn those. Now I go and I dance and I hike and I enjoy doing fun exercises that's like in tune with my body. And I saw this girl like transform in front of me in the mirror, from literally being on diets and exercising, hating my body, to like loving it and seeing this transformation that I wasn't even trying to get, because I was like, I'm done with this. And then it still transformed, which is amazing.
Well, I like that a lot of these things can last you throughout a lifetime. They can be adopted in your 20s, your 30s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s of doing things like dance, like you said, walking, activities that you love. But I think sometimes that first hump is getting over that negative self-talk.
Absolutely.
You know, we may kind of beat ourselves up, or we're overly critical about something of ourselves, like, why can't I get that right? Why doesn't this look as good as hers? Or, you know, that comparing game.
Absolutely. And I talk about Little Miss Critical, who's this voice inside our head that belittles us and bullies us. Well, it's time to tell her to pack up her bags and leave, because you have to change the language that you use to talk about yourself. When you're putting yourself down and saying these negative things to yourself in the mirror, I feel like your body is listening to that. And if you can change your language to kindness, positivity, and gratitude,
Even if it feels silly?
Even if it feels silly in the beginning, which it will. I know it will. It did for me. But I used to like hate my body so much that I couldn't even look in the mirror. And now I'll catch myself, and I've retrained those negative thoughts in my head to think something positive. Just find one key thing that you can like about yourself that day, and slowly you'll start to retrain that negative habit, and your body will listen to that.
I love it, because you talked about standing in front of the mirror and saying positive things.
Yeah.
This is truly a how-to guide. Your book
really
is wonderful.
Thank
and this
you.
picture that I'm holding up is a girl, and you suggest standing in front of a full-length mirror, and you give a guide on how to start learning to love yourself and accept your
Do you
body.
have to do it naked?
Even better if you can do it naked.
I like that more. That's it.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here. Such a pleasure to meet you. And
You
good
too.
for you for
Thank
finding
you.
your way on this difficult journey
And
as
sharing
a
it with other
young
young
woman.
girls.
Yeah, and helping other young girls. I think it's fantastic. People can find out more about you on your website. It's girlunfiltered.com. And the book, again, is Learning to Love the Girl in the Mirror, a teenage girl's guide to living a happy and healthy life. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.